All right, and we're back. I promised you one more example, and that's what you are going to get. So, example 2, solve the triangle given that angle A is 20 degrees, angle C is 85 degrees, and little b is 30. All right, this is a scenario where you're given two angles, so you know you're going to use the law of sines. Right now, that's all you know, so obviously that's what we're going to use. But in the future, you're going to have to decide what to use when, and that's a good tool. So, we're always going to start with a picture. Just like we talked about before, you can label your A's, B's, and C's wherever you like, okay? But remember, little a has to be opposite of big A, and little b has to be opposite big B, and then obviously little c has to be across from big C. And then we're going to label the parts that we're given. So A is 20 degrees, little b is 30, and big C is 85 degrees. Okay, so the directions again are to solve the triangle. That means that you need to find all of the missing parts. So we are missing big B, we are missing little a, and we are missing little c. Okay, so remember all three angles add up to 180 degrees. So if I know that big A is 20, and big C is 85, then I can find big B. So to get big B, I'm going to do 180 degrees minus 85 minus 20. All right, and that tells me that big B is 75 degrees. Okay, so we know that answer. Now, because this is a law of sines question, we're obviously going to refer to the law of sines that you'll be given on every test on your formula sheet. And the law of sines says again that sine of big A over little a equals sine of big B over little b, which equals sine of big C over little c. So we are going to go looking for our pair. Remember what I said, that means two A's, two B's, or two C's. So in this problem, I have big A, but I don't have little a. I have big B, and guess what? I have little b again. So that's what we are going to start with. So we are going to start with the b's every time. So we're going to say sine of 75 over little b, which is 30, equals, and then again, we're going to solve for little a or little c. I'm going to start with little a. So we're going to use sine of big A over little a. So big A is 20, so sine of 20 degrees over little a, okay? And again, we're going to cross multiply. So A sine 75 equals 30 sine 20. And then to get A by itself, we're going to divide by sine 75. Okay? So when you get ready for your calculator, you're going to know that little a is 30 sine 20 divided by sine of 75. Okay? So you're going to pick up your calculator, you're going to make sure you're in degree mode, and you're going to get that little a is 10.62. All right, so last but not least is little c. So we're going to go back, okay, to our law of sines, and we're going to start with b's again, but this time we're going to use the c's. So we're going to say sine of 75 over 30. Those are the sine of big B over little b. But this time, looking for c, we're going to say sine of 85, okay, over little c. And just like before, we're going to cross multiply. So c sine 75 equals 30 sine 85. Then you're going to divide by sine of 75. And you're going to end up that c is 30 sine 85 over sine 75. Now, again, pick up your calculator. You're going to type that in, and you're going to get that little c is 30.94. All right, and that, guys, means that you have solved the triangle. Okay, now there's one thing I want you to take note of. If you were to fill these into your triangle and you were to look that little a is 10.62 and little c is 30.94, a way to check your work is to make sure that you look at your angles, and you need to know that the biggest side is across from the biggest angle and the smallest side is across from the smallest angle. So you will notice that the biggest angle being 85 is across from the biggest side being 30.94. And then the smallest angle is 20, and it's across from the smallest side being 10.62. This is just a great way to check your work, and it's a good way to see and make sure that you've done everything correctly. So that's it, and that is the law of sines.